I often get asked if you could only afford to buy one iPhone lens, which one would it be? And that can really be a subjective question, but for me, if I could only afford to get one, I would make it a telephoto. Why a telephoto? Well, you've already got a 24mm on your iPhone, the main camera, and that's pretty wide. And then of course you also have a ultra wide, and depending on which model you have, that's a 13mm. So between those two, you've got wide angle covered. Now you might be thinking you've already got a telephoto built into your phone, and that is true, but it is a 5x tele. That can be good or bad, but the main point is it's a smaller sensor and it's a slower aperture, so you don't get near as good a quality in low light especially, and just overall. Another thing, especially if you have a 15 or a 16 Pro or Pro Max and you have the 5x tele, a lot of people think that's too long of a tele. So using a 2x tele on the main 24mm or on the 48mm virtual gives you more of an in-between. Now I just mentioned the 48mm virtual tele. That is only if you have a 14 Pro or later, maybe a Pro Max, I can't remember for sure. That way you get the 24mm and the 48mm built in. And so the cool thing about that is that then you can put a telephoto on that 48mm and get 2x that. And the big benefit is you get more shallow depth of field. And if you look at this example here, you can see that here's the 48mm virtual, and here is the 24mm with the telephoto put on it, the external telephoto. It's a little bit wider shot actually, but it's more compressed and you also get more shallow depth of field. Now keep in mind, when using the 48mm, when you're shooting video, you don't have any resolution loss at all. It's just 4K video. If you're shooting photos, you do get less resolution. You get 12 megapixel photos versus 48 megapixel when shooting with the 24. But again, for video, it makes no difference at all.
Enjoy her.
Thanks, I will.
When I've done any of my narrative type work, short films, etc., I use the telephoto a lot. It just really, again, gives you some nice shallow depth of field that makes it feel like a more traditional camera.
But I mean, what about the stereo? I mean, that's weird, right?
It's a used car, so sometimes they have a mind of their own, but I'm sure it'll work itself out.
And when you put that on the 24mm, it's equivalent to a 48, roughly 50mm, which is a nice focal length for most narrative stuff. Again, it's subjective, but it works really well. And keep in mind, while you have the aforementioned built-in 48mm, when using that, you just don't get as much shallow depth of field. And so it just really depends on what you're doing, but for narrative stuff, or if you're trying to separate a subject from the background, adding that lens to the main sensor and using either one of those particular lenses can really create a nice look. Small rig monitors. So yeah, if you have the money to get a full set of lenses, go for it, that's great. But if you don't, and you only want to get one, then I really do suggest a telephoto. My number 2 pick would probably be an anamorphic. because an anamorphic look is one you can't get with the built-in lenses. So that would be a good second option. But if you're not shooting anamorphic, if you're not doing any kind of movies, for most general purpose stuff, whether that's YouTube or movies, etc., the telephoto is the way to go.